Hello. Turubim, konnichiwa. Hello. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Aloha. What it do? I said hello twice by accident, but it is what it is. Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. However, if you don't like the video, you can still like, share, and subscribe because, that's what nice people do. They're still nice to people, even if they don't like them or disagree with them. So you could do that, and that would be very helpful too. So either way, I appreciate you. Let's get into today's topic, which is giving the new generation some playoff love, right? You want to give them a little bit of love. I have been very critical of the new generation of players. There are things about them that drive me nuts that I do not like. Right now, we are getting some of the best basketball I've seen in a long time. And I have to be very honest that I'm loving most of the games that I'm seeing. Now, the blowouts are boring and nobody cares about those, but there's a lot of great basketball being played right now at a high level, or a fairly high level, right? As high as they can play for what they have right now, I would say. But most importantly to me is that it looks like there's a return to defense and physicality. The refs are letting more things go than they were, and I have to say I really absolutely love that. I love watching physical basketball. I love watching fouls at times. I know that sounds crazy, but there are games where both teams go through and nobody ever fouls anybody. You need to be fouling people, right? If you're not, you know how they say if you're not cheating, you're not winning, right? Now, I'm not saying cheat, but there's something to be said to that. Like, are you trying to do whatever you can to be successful, right? Now, it doesn't have to be cheating, but you need to be, busting your behind for these victories. And I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of teams come out and play as hard as they possibly can, and I absolutely love it. That's what makes basketball or any sport great, is the effort. It's not always about the wins until it is. And what do I mean until it is? Until you're one of the greatest players of all time and one of the greatest teams of all time. Then you have to really, really, really concentrate on making sure it's win or bust. But really, what we really want to see, if you're a fan, is just effort, energy, defense, attention to detail. Things like that matter. And as long as those things are being done, then as a fan, you what more can you ask for, right? Well, there are some more things that you can ask for, but this is a positive video, so we're going to be positive today. So I was listening to one of my favorite people to listen to, which is BJ Armstrong. I really, really, really like a lot of the things that he says. I can relate to them. I appreciate them. And I think he has a nice line of reasoning that is super high quality. So let's listen to what he had to say, and then we'll come back and we'll react to that.
Our job here is to tell it like it is. Always. And I know there's a lot of chit chatter on the social media about the older guys are always going after this generation. I want to thank this generation for the commitment to excellence. These playoff games have been so entertaining. I'm back in love with the game again. This is the NBA mode that we've all been missing. I want to say this by name. Adam Silver, Mark Tatum, job well done. The competitive conflict is back. These players, Mo, have been playing such fantastic basketball since the playoffs have begun. These first two games, Mo, have been sensational. Bravo, bravo, bravo. The NBA is back. We're smiling. We're happy. I like the physical play. I like the lack of calling fouls.
So I have to say, I 100% agree with BJ Armstrong. There have been less fouls being called, and I really appreciate that, right? Because I want to just see good basketball. I want to see people that care about winning. I don't want to see everybody being friends. I want to see tough matchups. I want to see people fighting, scratching, clawing for everything, for every point, for every defensive rebound, for every offensive rebound. You just want to see people fighting again, right? And I don't mean like literal fighting, even though sometimes that's not bad either. But just caring, right? And it's so great to see that a lot of these teams are fighting, and especially these young teams, man. Are you watching the Pistons? If you go by star power and name on paper, yeah, they should be taking L's left and right. But they pulled out a big one the other day. By playing hard, staying together, listening to great coaching, shout out to Bickerstaff, and giving it everything they have. You know what I mean? Just giving it every single thing they have. And the Celtics series, hopefully Tatum's wrist is okay, but, you know, those are two teams fighting. Orlando is a tough young team. They came close. They're going to fight. And their coach is another no-nonsense guy who, hilariously, him and Bickerstaff look the same. That's weird. They look exactly like each other. But at the end of the day, you got two young teams fighting for tooth and nail for everything they have. The Thunder are actually a young team. And they're fighting. They're blowing the doors off of these guys. And their games haven't been that competitive. They haven't been, you know, overall aesthetically that pleasing because they've just been blowing the Grizz out. But they're playing hard, right? They're physical. And the Grizz have been physical too. SGA is not shooting a great percentage. Physicality is back. Guys are fighting, right? They want to be great. They want to do well. Cade Cunningham even said already, he's like, listen, I think I'm great, but it doesn't matter unless I do it in the offs when it matters the most. So even these guys have a great mindset, man. They have a great mindset. The Rockets, they didn't win, but they're fighting, right? Both those young Thompson brothers, one's on the Rockets, one is on the Pistons. They're fighters. They're not as skilled as they will be at some point, but I'll tell you what, they fight. You know that. You know they're bringing the hard hat and the lunch pail. Look at the Warriors. I don't know how the Warriors are winning games. Their tallest player is dang near, what's his name? Their tallest player is dang near Gary Payton the third, I think, or is it Junior? I don't know. I got to look at his name again. But Gary Payton's son is like their tallest player at times, and they're still winning games. That's fight. That's grit, toughness, physicality. I'm watching people come off screens. They're getting held, grabbed, all that good stuff. Basketball is back to being physical. It doesn't matter who's on the other side. Look at the Timberwolves. They're not the oldest team. They're not the youngest team. They're kind of in the middle, but the Lakers have LeBron, so that's a more veteran presence than anybody on their team. And they're fighting. They're fighting with every single thing that they have. It's physical. They're grabbing, they're holding, they're scratching, they're clawing. They got one victory already. So it's the physicality of it. You want to see people fighting, scratching, clawing for everything, earning everything. No Olay defense. Earn it. Earn that basket. Earn that step back. Earn all of it. I see a lot of full court pressing going on so far in the playoffs. And you know, this is what I envision when I close my eyes and I dream of basketball. So I'm very impressed by this young group of guys. The old regime is their time is up. And because of that, there's a new wave of young, hungry guys who seem loyal and dedicated to what, you know, loyal and dedicated to their craft and each other. These guys are playing as a team. The Pistons are a team. The Thunder are a team. Cade Cunningham is the best player by far. SGA is the best player by far, but they're a team. The Rockets are a team. Right? The T-Wolves are a team. These teams are teams led by young guys. Orlando, struggling because they're in a tough spot. They're playing probably the best team in the league based on they're the most recent to hoist that trophy up. And they don't care. They're a team. They're fighting. And that's what you want to see. The disloyalty ruined a lot of that. But it seems like these guys are trying to return to some level of loyalty. And they're definitely fighting, scratching, and clawing. And so I love what I've seen in the playoffs. I personally love it. And I've been extremely critical. There are other videos where you can see how critical I have been of what I've been seeing at times. But the playoffs get an A+ rating from me so far. A+. So that's it for this video. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. Please like, share, and subscribe. Really trying to help grow the channel. The more you spread the word, the more you talk about it, the more the channel will grow. And if you didn't like the video, you can feel free to comment. You can still like, share, and subscribe. I definitely would love to comment. Tell me what you didn't like about the video. We don't have to hate each other and be, you know, upset all the time. You can still help a brother out. That's always appreciated. So like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm very humble. Thank you very much for your time and your energy. Much love.
Can tell that somehow you're never getting